Hey guys, good morning. I'll tell you what, super excited as we get into the book of Psalms again today. Hopefully, you're reading along with us. We're getting into a section where there is some longer Psalms. So I want to encourage you, make sure that you're reading through the entirety of the Psalm ahead of time, or make sure you spend time afterwards, whatever that looks like, truly from a devotional perspective. And I'm going to be covering maybe a section or a handful of those verses as we hit some of these longer Psalms. So here we are. We're in Psalms 33, and it's such a cool picture of God's work of creation at the foundations of the earth, and then what His work is today. You look around and you can just see the immensity of just our earth as you stand on on some sort of a vista and you can look as far as the eye can see. You're just amazed at its beauty. If you have a chance to gaze up into the stars, you get to see the awesomeness of the heavens that God has created, that is just like infinite in its size and what is out there as He's put everything into motion for us to be able to enjoy, for us to be able to have dominion over. All those things happen at the point of creation. And then what does He do though now? It's incredible that He also, that we're going to see in this psalm, that He has a very special purpose in this time frame, on this timeline, and it gets down into what seems like maybe a very, very a small thing, but has great priority. So here we are. I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to start right here in verse 4. It says this: For the word of the Lord is right, and all of His work is done in truth. He loves righteousness and justice, and the earth is filled with the goodness of the Lord. Now we're going to see, after we start with that, is that we're going to see a couple of words. The first one is going to be kind of the word of the Lord and the things that happen from it. And then we're going to get to see the eyes of the Lord. Okay, so it's both the word and then the eyes. And so by the word of the Lord, the heavens were made, and by all the hosts of them, by the breath of His mouth, He gathered the waters of the sea together as a heap. He lays up the deep in storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of Him, for He spoke and it was done. He commanded and it stood fast. Right? So simply put, God spoke, the word went out, and all of what we see around us was created. Immense, massive amount of power to be able to create the depths of the water, everything that's around us, the system in which we function in, all those sorts of things were created in a moment. All right? And then he goes on. He says this: the Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of His heart to all generations. Blessed is the man whose God is the Lord, the people He has chosen as His inheritance. All right, so now we get to see that even as He spoke, He's established righteousness, He's established justice, He's established the systems of nations in which are going to be able to rule and reign, and even His promise to His chosen people, the nation of Israel. All those things were all established there at the beginning. And now we're going to see that the speaking portion shifts over to the seeing portion. It says, look at this: the Lord looks from heaven and sees all the sons of man. That word looks is very active. Okay. It's not something that He spoke, but now He looks continuously, sees all the sons of men, every single one of them. There's not one that goes hidden. There's not one that's lost. There's not one that's missed at all. From the place of His dwelling, He looks on all the inhabitants of the earth. He fashions their hearts individually. He considers all of their works. We just got to see that when in a single, in just words, He spoke all this into an existence. And now we get this sense of a fashioning of a single person's heart, right? Individually, each person knowing how they've been wired, how God has put them together. It is unique. It is special. It is something which He has taken great care in. Clearly, mankind has become the centerpiece of His masterpiece, and we get to be, and we're that, right? And so that's such a cool thing as He's fashioned and formed. He also considers all of our works. He looks at our life. He looks at how He's wired us, and so therefore now He considers everything that we do. This is both good and bad, and so He's actively taking consideration of that. All right, no king is saved by a multitude of an army. A mighty man is not delivered by great strength. A horse is in vain hope for safety. Neither shall it deliver any by its great strength, right? Because God is the judge. God is the one who gets to see all things and eventually will be the judge. Any measure of protection you think you have, you don't when you stand before judgment. And then verse 18 stands out. Behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who look in his mercy to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Not only do we get to see that he has looked and he saw mankind and fashioned and formed, but now we get to see this beautiful picture of, behold, the eye of the Lord, the actual pupil, the focus of his attention is now on those who fear him and who hope in his mercy to deliver their soul from death. What a cool experience, right? To now know that out of all of creation, all the massiveness that exists here on the earth that we get to see out in the universe, all those things as it comes down, 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 right, to mankind as he has formed and fashioned our hearts and all that sort of stuff. The moment that you place your trust in him, the moment that you you fear him, now it gets right there to where this is the very focus of the Lord, the very centerpiece of why he's done everything that he's done. And you can only imagine Jesus, who was there at creation, who is responsible for speaking all things into a creation, would have had us set as the joy that was set before him. The very centerpiece, the very focus would be the redemption of mankind and those who would ultimately place their hope in him. There's a whole lot in there. What do I want you to take away from this? Man, we have an awesome God, and we get to be the centerpiece of his attention and his focus as we place our hope in his mercy and we fear him. That should just be simple enough to sit and to chew on that all day long, meditate on that very aspect of it. And therefore, it should make us feel so radically small, but also remind us of how God has taken such a great affection approach to his creation, specifically, though, us and those who place their trust in him. Love you guys. I hope that was encouraging. It just blows my mind when you think about it. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless y'all.